and share screen. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
So, virtual assistant, an introduction. What is a virtual assistant? So, a virtual assistant is a freelancer who provides services remotely, which means they work from anywhere. They can work on the road, they can work at home, in your sofa, dining area, home office, and in the coffee shop. So, anywhere, as long as you have your computer or your laptop. So, what does a virtual assistant do exactly? So these questions gets me excited. You know why? Because a VA can do almost anything. That means you can offer services that you enjoy doing. So as a VA, you can choose the industry you work in, the clients you work with, and the types of services that you offer. So you can offer services that are administrative, creative, technical, or a mixture of those services. So basically, if you have a specific skill, there's probably someone out there who's willing to pay for it or willing to employ you for your services. So, what are the different types of online jobs? So, there are four for me. There are four main types of online jobs. So let's just be distinctive, or let's differentiate them from each other. So virtual assistant first. Second is online teaching. Third is online selling. Fourth is influencer or blogger or vlogger. So virtual assistants are paid by their clients or customers. Online teachers are paid by their agencies or their students, while the bloggers or vloggers or influencers are paid by their sponsors or advertisements through their ads. And what's the last one? Online sellers are paid by their customers when they sell online. So those are the types of online jobs. So, and why do people hire virtual assistants? So there are many reasons why. So why do employers hire? Why are they not hiring people from their own country? So why they do outsource from the Philippines, India, and other countries? So there are many reasons. First, for the Filipinos, and because of the cost of living is more affordable in the Philippines, so the salary is more affordable for Westerners or other countries, and and the skill, of course, because if it's hard or difficult to find from their own country, they will outsource from the Philippines. So Debbie can explain to us why people hire virtual assistants.
Yeah, sure. So there's a combination of tasks that I don't like doing. There's some things I don't like doing and that I don't do very
Mm,
well. And that I kind of have to look at my time. If I'm trying to run a business, I
mm,
should be concentrating on my business and growing it strategically. I cannot grow my business strategically if I'm answering 100 customer emails every day, if I'm trying to do graphics for social media, if I'm trying to
mm,
edit videos, if I'm trying to even just review, write emails. So there's all those things, apart from the things that I don't like doing, there's things I don't do very well, and there's also things that I shouldn't be doing. So every now and then I have to remind myself that I shouldn't be doing that job, and I make that mistake with graphics all the time, and I don't do it well. I do a really, really bad job, and it's
mm,
kind of become a bit of a with our team. I'm going, all right, I had to go. Here it is. I'll hand it over to you guys because I suck at it.
mm,
So yeah, there's a combo between being able to, so all of a sudden I can actually upskill myself effectively by
mm,
having 6 specialties. Well, Albin's a really good, he's a project manager, so he keeps everything running really well, and he does a lot of overflow stuff that kind of just happens. That I've got a whole lot of specialties that I've got basically access to, and which frees me up to do whatever I want to do for growing the business or having a day off or traveling,
mm.
or a bit having a better balance of life.
Yeah. So those are time management. So it's easier for to for the employers or the clients to focus on more technical or more fundamental part of the business. So
Yeah.
so they outsource for VAs to do
Yeah.
admin tasks. Yep. So there are different sectors that benefit from virtual assistants. So IT firms, SEO agencies. Ben is familiar with this. Marketing firms, accounting firms, law firms, real estate agencies, and recruitment agencies. Those are just some examples of agencies or sectors that benefit from VAs. So for clients, employers' expectations, of course, if I am an employer, I would have some expectations for my VA.
Mm.
So Debbie.
Yeah, sure. So as an employer, um, for me, the biggest thing is communication. I need to be communicated to. If I ask you to do a job and you can't do the job, to let me know that you can't do the job because it's either I've asked you to do too much, you don't have the skill set for it, and you need more training, which is fine because it's part of learning, growing, and becoming a better VA. Um, and responding to so really a lot of it's about communication. It's also being available when you've agreed to be available. Some employers have really strict work timeframes, others are really flexible, but it's something that you need to have negotiated and discussed with your employer, and be able to be available when you're going to be available. So they're probably my biggest expectations, is doing the best that you can do, communicating it, and doing what you've been asked. That's reasonable. I mean, most employers are pretty good, I think. Some obviously aren't. If they aren't, then I'd be leaving them, and then they'll just churn over their employees, and that's their bad luck. But yeah, having that communication amongst the other VAs as well as with me, so that everything kind of runs as smoothly as you possibly can, and it makes everybody's life easier.
Yeah, of course. Employers like you, Debbie, expect the employees to perform and to help them with their businesses. If you're not improving or you're not helping the business, so no, there's a question of your status of your employment. So yeah.
Well, that's exactly right. It's kind of, it's if I'm paying for a service and I need the service, but I don't need blood from stone, but I do need to feel that I'm getting
Yeah.
value for what I've paid for, and also that the respect that I give to my VAs is returned back to me.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kuan training mo.
So what can a virtual assistant do? So there are different type of tasks that virtual assistant are doing, are offering to services to their clients. So one is upload blogs or email newsletters. If you notice their websites, there are blogs, and when you subscribe, there are new email newsletters. Most probably, a VA written those
Mm.
blogs and sent you those emails, of course, with the approval of their clients. So
Mm.
they also respond to emails, set up email lists, transcribe voice memos, conference calls, run the calendar or manage the schedule of your clients, plan the trips, travel, book flights, book a hotel. So also one job of a VA. Research, handle or answer forwarded phone calls, help hire other employees. So you work as an HR, write and distribute standard business communications, emails to customers and clients, prepare presentations like this. So work as a VA, and manage social media accounts like Facebook page, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest. So if you notice, the social media accounts of the businesses, they are scheduled by their VAs.
Mm.
And graphics are usually done by VAs.
Mm.
So there are different types of VAs. They can be data entry management specialist. They can also be customer support, chat, voice, email, writer, article writer, content writer, SEO, search engine optimization. So Ben, you're familiar with this. So search engine optimization are specialized skill. So they help the website or the business of the client to rank in Google. So we can discuss this in the group. It will take us more than an hour to discuss this one. And another specialized skill is web design. So the layout of a website is done by a VA, a web design VA, and the web developer is a more skilled VA. So it's a combination of web design and SEO. So the job of a web developer is not just on the look or the layout of the website. His job is to make sure that the functionality of the website or the speed, the performance of the website is good. So that's they are more paid than the web design and SEO. So social media management or social media manager, they manage social media accounts of the business or the clients. General admin tasks. So combination of more on admin. For example, managing the email of the client, deleting spam on the emails, scheduling phone calls, scheduling meetings. So more on the admin. Bookkeeping. This is good for accountings with background in accounting. Graphic artist. If you have the skill in design, if you are familiar with Photoshop, this is good for you. Graphic artist. So the average monthly salary for starters. This is for the Philippines, actually. So this is more quite different from there in Buenos Aires. So $400 or 20,000. This is the basic for starters. So
Okay.
what is the average salary for different types of VA job? Let me share with you average. Yeah. So this is the average monthly salary of Filipino VAs for virtual assistant 25,000. So this is the range. If you are working part time, low end, or full time high end, so this is you can earn 59,500 a month. So the the higher skilled you are, the more experience you have, the better pay you get. So it is important that you continue learning and improving yourself, improving your skills. Yeah. For example, if you become an iOS developer, so you'll be earning an average of 46,500. So yeah, it's good to have another skill.
Mm.
Mm. So let's go back. So this is the average VA salaries across the world. So if you notice, the Philippines is more affordable or lower. This is because of the cost of living in the Philippines. It's cheaper as compared to other countries, even in our neighboring Asian countries, Thailand. We are the cheapest, more affordable because of the cost of living. So the VA expenses. So what are the expenses of a VA? This is based on the Philippines. Hmm, it's not working.
Frozen.
There. So let's compare both. If you are a office worker and you are a virtual assistant, so transportation, of course, you'll spend more because you're traveling daily. Transportation for VAs, you can there's none. So rent, it is the same. Electricity, you'll spend more as a VA because you are at home all day and you're using your computer. Food, you save more when you are working at home because food is more expensive when you buy outside. Internet, of course, you spend more when you work at home. So the total, if you are earning, if both are earning 30,000 a month, so you'll get more savings if you work as a VA. But there is, of course, a one-time cost for your computer. So you spend about 18,000 to 50,000 depending on the specs specifications of your computer and laptop. You spend about 25,000 to 60,000. This is in pesos. 60,000 for your laptop. So what are the top 10 advantages of working from home? So it's flexible because of the working schedule. It depends actually on your with your client, what time you're allowed to work or you are expected to work. Custom environment, you can customize your working environment. Cozy clothes, more comfortable. You don't need to work tie or yeah,
So one of our newer BAs, I think we do team meetings twice a
yeah,
week,
yeah.
and I think more than half the time she's actually still in her pajamas.
It's Irene.
So
Yeah,
a whole pajama. Everybody comes to the meeting in their pajamas.
yeah. So we have during team meetings, Chris and Irene usually show up in pajamas. Yeah.
Yeah, and Lynn did the other day as well.
And it's easier to make calls when you're working at home because you control your phone. Knock off, weekend to dos, you can work it because the time, your daily commute is no longer, you don't need to commute daily. You don't need to travel, so you can do other to dos, other tasks like gardening, doing the laundry, cleaning the house. So yeah, more time.
Sleeping.
Yeah, no office distractions. No angry customers going to your store or to your office or noisy coworker near your table. So yeah, zero commuting. No need to travel. You save money through food, and you don't need to buy new clothes, monthly or weekly because yeah, you're not expected to look good while working at home. Forget crowds in traffic and more time with your loved ones, more time with your pets, with your family. So even though there is an advantage, there are also disadvantages. So for me, when I started working as a VA, one the most uh, the hardest part or is the hardest challenge is willpower. It's difficult to work to motivate yourself to work when you are distracted with social media, with your favorite show on TV, and your dog barking outside. So yeah, it's quite challenging at first. But when you manage well your work, your task, you will eventually learn to focus. Yeah, this number two is sticking to a routine because you need to be strictly following your routine daily, or else you won't accomplish anything. Missing important calls. This is for emails or Skype when you're not signed in and you missed calls from your client or your coworkers. Ordering food, very challenging, Debbie. It's tempting to order pizza. So, yeah. Yeah. Power naps as well. It's very tempting. Boredom at home when you're alone. Working slowly. No second monitor. This is because at the office you have access to different types of computers. So yeah, if Wi-Fi, and there are problems with your Wi-Fi or connection, and waiting for an answer. Actually, Debbie, when I started working, it's difficult to work when your question is not answered uh, immediately because you need
Mm,
to wait for a reply through email
mm,
or your Skype or a Slack. While when you are in the office, it's readily available. You can just ask your coworker or your boss.
mm.
Yeah. So, yep, one of the challenges working from home. So, what are the basic skills for to become a VA? First is typing. To be honest, when I started, Debbie, I my typing speed is very bad. I can only 30 words per minute. Yeah, it's very slow. Yeah. But eventually, when I started working as a content writer, I eventually improved. I writing 40 words per minute, then 50, and eventually 60. So yeah, you'll improve when you keep practicing. Research. Google is your friend. For us VAs, is Google is your closest friend. So your closest.
And I'll add to that too. If you're doing research on Google, make sure you use the Google of your client's country. If
Yeah.
you European version of Google, then you won't get the same results that I would find if I was using Google Australia. So I think that was one of the things that I had to make sure that my VAs understood. Like, you've got to go and pick the right Google for the client's country.
Yeah. So you can use VPN as well. If there are websites that you can access. So yep, another skill is English, the speaking or writing. So, of course, to be able to communicate with your clients. So these are some of the skills that you need to learn if you would like to keep working as a VA. So general admin tasks, writing, WordPress. So WordPress is a platform for blogs. There are other platforms like Wix, Drupal,
Shopify.
Shopify for e-commerce. So uh, WordPress is the most, I guess, most readily available and user-friendly. So yep, WordPress, where you upload blogs and manage your website. Transcription. Transcription is when you transcribe voice memos or audios, webinars like this. You convert it into Word to Word doc. So that's transcription. Or recorded phone calls for medtechs. So you transcribe it. That's a job of a VA, transcription. Listing, research, posting product sell on Amazon or Shopify. Basic graphics or social media. Data entry and Google Apps. So for the advanced skills, Photoshop, Amazon, cPanel, video editing, coding, email marketing, SEO, social media management, Shopify, or Infusionsoft. There are other skills we can include this, but these are most common. And if you've got one or two of this, okay. So general admin. For general admin VA, basic skills are email management, booking, calendar management, and customer service. Okay, wait.
Can you mute Helix, Melvin?
Yeah.
I can't mute it because you're the meeting owner.
Alex, mute please.
Thank you.
For content writing, so this is for one of the first skill that I've learned as a VA, writing blogs, articles, websites, press releases. So content writing basically is the content of the website. So what you see inside the website are mostly done by a VA. So from blogs to articles to description of a page, to press releases and emails, including emails. So those are done by content writers or VAs. What are the rules for content writing? So of course the grammar must be perfect, or it must the number of words must be it depends 300 words per article, 300 to 500. Some the longest is 1000 to 3000 words per article. It must be original, so you won't get penalized by Google. Once you post when you copy a content from another website to your website, you will be penalized by Google. So
and also lose your job.
Yeah, it shouldn't be lousy.
I had someone do that to me, one of my former VAs. Every time she did content, she was just copying other people's content. I went, this is not cool.
Oh.
Cannot do it. And then I ended up like,
Yeah, that's a violation, guys. So remember, it's not, you can, it's easy to detect a plagiarized content. So yeah, be careful when you're offering a content writing job, content writing services. So format, of course, it depends on the type of format that the client is asking for you. It can be first person, can be it can also be informational, can be casual. It depends on the type of writing that your client is asking for you. So what are the tools that you need? Microsoft Word, of course, it's basic. Google Word as well. Word counter to count the words of your article. Google Doc. Copyscape. This is to check for plagiarized content. Make sure that your content is original. Grammarly. This is a tool. This paid tool that check your grammar. So it's easier for you to review your writing. So
Yeah, and the nice thing about Grammarly is that you can turn around and tell it what country the grammar is
yeah.
for. So we're doing some work for an American website at the moment, and so I've got my Grammarly set up for the US because by default I write with Australian spellings, and then I can switch it back to Australian when we're doing stuff for our Australian site.
Yeah, it's very useful tool. There is a free, there's a free plan for this, so for the basic, so you can use it for free. Yeah. So transcription, what is a transcription and what does a transcriber do? So yeah, I explained it already. When you convert an audio or a video into a word, so yep, customer clients wants to transcribe their audio or webinar or podcast, so they can reuse it as a blog or another content for their website. Yep.
Yep.
Listing research. So yeah, for example, you are tasked to put listing on a website for products or services or yep, basic basic job of a VA. Graphics. You don't need to be an expert of Photoshop, but if you do, it's much useful. So Canva is a free tool. You can access it online, canva.com. There are a lot of templates you can use, so it's user friendly, and there are many things you can do with Canva. InDesign and Photoshop are advanced skills.
And they're paid as well.
Yeah.
So.
Where to apply? So these are some platforms that you can find a job. So Upwork, online jobs at VH. Believe it or not, you can find a job on LinkedIn. Just improving your profile and finding the right people on your search on the search tab. Facebook groups. There are a lot of a group of Facebook group that are intended for VAs, and for they will post regularly about vacancies. They are looking for a VA. Virtual Staff Finder. Uh, they are an agency. So in other job websites like Glassdoor, JobStreet, but of course there are scammers or scam. Yeah, so we need to avoid them. We'll discuss this later. So how to avoid scammers? There are different types of scams online that are targeting VAs. For example, test. Um, these are not real job. They would just, for example, the employer emailed you, ask you for a test task. Write, Alburn, write 300-word article. Then once I submitted the article, they won't pay me or they won't reply any longer. They're just asking for the test and they'll use it for their own website or for their own client. So make sure you avoid those. MLM or multi-level marketing.
I'll take a step back there. So when we employ VAs, we will actually we'll do, Album will interview, like obviously submit resume, Album would interview, but we'll actually ask someone to do a small test, but it won't be off the bat like, hey, basically give me a whole job that I can just take, use from you and then go away. It's actually part of our interview process that we give people a little bit of a test so we can understand their skill level. And that's, so there's just a small proviso with that test task.
Yeah, for test test, of course, during the interview, there is,
But if it's just a straight, I might employ myself and avoid those.
Yeah, but if it is unpaid task and it's quite long, for example, a whole article, so you must be worry or avoid those unless you are paid first. MLM. So multi-level marketing. So if you are required to invite people to join a company, so it's not a virtual assistant job. It is a pyramiding scheme. So yeah, avoid.
Mm.
If they are requesting your account information, your name, your bank accounts, your tax information. So yep, avoid those employers. Account renting. This is very common in the Philippines, Debbie. So they would rent your Facebook account or your
Huh.
or your PayPal account.
Your PayPal.
Yep, your PayPal. For example, this is for scams abroad. Um, they will uh, they will rent your account so that they will receive money illegally from other people. So
Yeah.
yep, so their own accounts will not be banned. Your account or the VA's account will be in danger. So yep, if they will ask to rent your account,
Mm.
Facebook or PayPal. No, those are red flags.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the red flags. If it's too good to be true, if the pay is too high, and without interviews, without test tasks, so yeah, it's a red flag. When an employer asks for a money first, when they ask you for a paid training, so no, that's not an employer. That's a scam. Personal info as if they are asking for very um, detailed info about you, so yeah, red flag. If there is no contract. Actually, uh, there are clients or employers that don't offer contract, but they are legit, so it's not that much of an issue. So,
Yeah, but I would still ask, if you're being employed, I would ask for a contract.
yep.
So then at least they give you a good framework for what the employer expects. It gives the employer, like some employers are a bit disorganized. I'm a bit disorganized. I'm getting better. But if you have a contract, then you at least know what is expected of you. If you want to leave, when you should be leaving, when you're going to be paid, how much you're going to be paid. If the employer doesn't want to employ you anymore, what they can do. So it just gives you a little bit more security if you have
Yeah.
that contract.
So you can actually ask for a contract with your employer. So if the job descriptions have a lot of grammar issues or typos, usually those are scams. And this is a red flag that I was victimized, Debbie. It's a red flag, but I continue working with the client. So he emailed me and messaged me on Skype that he emailed me an instruction, but I can't find it. So when I search the spam, his email is on the spam. It means that it has been reported by many email users. But I accepted the job. And for 1 month, I worked for him, and the payment was none.
Really?
No, it should be a red flag. Lesson learned. Yep. How to avoid scammers online. So you should use legitimate platforms. For example, Upwork, LinkedIn, and onlinejobs.ph because they screen uh, the clients or the customers.
And also employment agencies, they're good as well.
Yep. So you can consider this as legitimate platforms. Avoid from free posting platforms. For example, Craigslist. There are a lot of scammers all around Craigslist. So
Hey,
of course,
Henry, can you mic, please?
how to mute them?
And can you mute him out, Alvin?
You know how to mute.
It should be there's a button.
Okay. Yep. Here.
To the right. There you go.
Yep. Yeah. Another one is no contract. If there is no interview, you should ask contract and you should ask for an interview so that you can talk to the client. So you'll feel you'll get an idea of if they are legitimate or not. Advance payment. Sometimes you can ask for advance payment for just for a few weeks of your work, so you know you'll get paid. So how to apply? Of course, application letter. You need to submit your application letter. You need to create your resume and portfolio. This is the basic things you need to prepare so that the client or the customer, the employer will. So I'll show you samples of resumes like this.
So the other thing is with the, I'll just add in, whenever I advertise for a job, particularly on Upwork, because I find on Upwork, people will just, you post your job. And I think the last job I posted for a proofreader, I had a fellow he was applying for an engineering job. Like this was a proofreading job. And he actually, every single job he saw, he just applied for. So any single time that I put jobs up on Upwork, I always say, to show that you've read this application, put the word purple bananas, like a word in it. And if someone doesn't do that, they don't even get past. Even if their resume looks amazing, their letter looks good, then I go, well, no, if you didn't even read my job application, you're just literally applying for every job, I'm not interested. So make sure you read those.
Job
If
description.
you're on somewhere like, or even anywhere, read the job description entirely in case it gives you a specific instruction. It's not to basically be smart or make life difficult. It's so that when you get in, I don't know, last time we advertised, Alvin, did you have like 200 people to fill?
Yep.
And we did the same thing. You need to include this phrase. And it made it really quick and easy for us all of a sudden to go, gone. And then Alvin could see really quickly also people that hadn't actually read the application or the ad actually properly and just did a copy and paste of their cover letter. Gone out the door. If you can't put enough effort in to just change it a little bit, where you can read through it, you can see exactly what it is, and you won't get past the first spot.
Yeah, so it's important to read the job description because there are instructions within the job description. So one thing is to improve your resume. So don't submit in Word doc, in Word form, because it's unprofessional for us. Submit something nice, arrange in PDF form. So like this. This is in it's in JPEG, but
that's a beautiful one, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's quite easy to read and pleasant to the eyes as well.
Yeah.
Another example. So, yep. So, yeah, you can do this using Canva. You can do this using PowerPoint. So I'll teach you this, how to do it, how to prepare your resume on the Facebook group. Yep. So for portfolio, how to create a portfolio. I'll give you another example. This is an example of a portfolio. Your name, quick, short info about you, your services. You can create here, but put here testimonials from your previous clients, samples of your work. For example, if you are a graphic designer, yep, like that, and how to contact you. Right? It's quite pleasant to the eyes. So that's the end of our presentation. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll now go to the question and answer. If you have questions, you can ask on the chat, or
if there's something that we didn't cover that you'd like to see, or more information that we can give you that might help you get started, or anything like that. If you can't think of anything right now, that's fine. I think Alvin was creating a group. You can ask that question in the group. Completely fine.
Yeah.
And if there's anything to help you with right now, you've got us.
Axa, any question?
Well, I don't have any kind of experience as a VA. How could I do to leverage my portfolio?
Good question.
Because I don't have a portfolio. I've never worked
So
as a VA.
I would then pretend that I had a client and I'd go and create something that would give an example of your work. So really the portfolio is 2 or 3 pieces of something really good, high quality that can demonstrate how good you are, that would make, and it also makes you stand out from other VAs, that you can go, yep, she looks like she knows what she's doing. I think that she can do what I need. So if it's a translation exercise, then you might have a short article, a 200-word article or a 100-word article or something that actually had an example of what it is that you have done. But if you don't have anything that's real, I'd just go and create it now.
And we will let you do test tasks, Axa, on the Facebook group. So, for example, I'll let you do a translation job, a short translation job. So you can use it.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. What were you saying?
In the Facebook group, I'll add you on our Facebook group, and then let you do test task. Test task. So yeah, you can use it on your portfolio and help you design your portfolio as well. So yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I'll teach you guys on the Facebook group how to use Canva, so you can edit your resume and improve your portfolio.
Oh, that's great. And another question is not related to the class. I'm seeing that you're recording. Can we have the recording?
Sure.
That's fine. We're recording it just so that we can kind of work out what we're doing. So we can see what worked well, what didn't work well. If people are asking questions, and we know if we do this again that what we should include. So, but yeah, happy to share the recording.
Yes, there were some details I couldn't write down. So
yeah, Alvin can share the slides as well, and also those other images that he had, like his sample resume, sample application, that like all those other things that we're happy to share that with you as well. He'll pop those in the Facebook group, I guess, Alvin. As a file.
I'll upload it to the Facebook group. So let
Thank
me.
you so much.
Any questions?
Alvin?
Yeah?
Yeah, personally, I'd like to know more about improving the resume and the portfolio, because I don't really have a definite portfolio. Well, on LinkedIn a bit, yeah, but I think we'll cover that in the group, right?
Yeah. We will discuss this in the group. I'll teach you how to create your own resume and portfolio.
Yeah, you do SEO, is that right, Ben?
The company did SEO, but I was into writing, and they also made me do telemarketing.
Oh, okay. So what area do you want to stick with the writing, or are you interested in more in doing general VA or the telemarketing type of thing?
I would prefer writing or general VA, because in telemarketing, a lot of people hate you.
Yeah, telemarketing's pretty hard, isn't it? Well, you're trying to sell stuff to people that don't want it. So I would hone in on the writing. Writing is so broad, like whether it's copywriting, sales letters, blog writing, because they're all so varied and they have different skill sets. So I'd kind of focus on what element of that writing is that, whether it's, what it is. And then a same suggestion as for AXA is actually, if you don't have anything real right now, go and just create a short version of the best quality that you could do with, like Alvin can give you an example of something that like we do, if it fits in, if you want a framework or something to say, like the email, we do everything. So we do writing for recipes, intros, ebooks, emails, blah, 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 blah. But unless you've got something already that, like, we're happy to help you to give you a framework or an idea, but if it's an idea of something that you know exactly the type of writing you want to do, like just do maybe 3 different examples or 3 different styles, but don't pigeon yourself too tightly.
Yeah, I think I normally favor basic copywriting or casual writing, not the too technical type of writing.
And that's completely fine. And I mean, if you're good at doing that basic, like we, so Chris has been doing copywriting because Chris started as one of our VAs, started as a general VA, and she really likes writing, and she was doing a bit of blog stuff. And I said, well, you know, like I could actually use some, if you want to really focus on being a specialist, I'm happy to train you, like invest the time, give you the time, blah, blah, blah. So now she's kind of developing and morphing because she likes writing, but with the training and support into becoming quite a good copywriter. So it's kind of keeping your mind open to those opportunities as well, because it'll increase your availability and your opportunities. So, but yeah, like if it's general writing, then just do a couple of really good examples of articles. If it's a specific industry, I don't know, like the biggest, I guess if you have a look at the biggest industries that need writing, it's whether it's like a lot of it's health and nutrition. There's product type descriptions. Yeah, like I do 3 different type of samples from that. Even if you built up a few, so if you were going in and had an employer reach out and you knew the industry they were in, and you went, oh well, actually they're in e-commerce. Well, they probably won't be interested in my. I don't even know. Like e-commerce is weird because obviously you still have general blog content as well as product descriptions as well as sales. So I try to kind of do a best case sample of what you think you should be able to, or what you can do. Yeah, but we can explore that further in the Facebook group.
Yep. So Ben, we can use your resume, your writing, your writing samples in your portfolio.
Yeah. So Rodney's still here. So Rodney's asked, is it hard for me to find a job as a high school diploma? I'm 18 years old. I think, Rodney, you probably need to get yourself a little bit upskilled. Pick an area that you're interested in. A lot of employers will start off as their first VA as a general VA. And a general VA is someone that's going to do just little bits of everything. They might answer a couple of customer emails. They might go and do some social media posting, or they might do some bookings for the client. So if you need to develop a type of skill. So there's ways that you can go and upskill yourself, and there's Facebook do courses, like there's free courses available. You can, if you've got the time and you've got the interest, and I'd be trying to find ways that you could learn more about the services that people need. And I know we've provided quite an extensive list, even if it was like how to actually translate and what tools you need to translate. So you could turn around and say, look, I'm only new, but I'm really keen, and I've gone and done these things to help upskill myself. Then you've got a much better chance with an employer.
So Rodney, yep. Rodney, we will discuss. You are in the group, right? So we can let you do the test task for general admin, general VA, how to manage an email, for example, Google or Gmail, how to schedule meetings, how to do data entry, how to do listings, research, and transcription. So it's easier for, it's difficult for applicants when they don't know what they're doing or they don't have any experience with general admin. So we'll let you experience it within in the group.
The other thing, Rodney, no one goes for everybody. Don't ever put your age on a resume. It's not relevant. It's your skill is relevant. Most employers can work out kind of roughly how old you are, but if you go and put on your resume straight up that you're 18, you might accidentally exclude yourself when you don't need to. So it's don't ever put your age on a resume.
Yeah. Okay. From Real John, major problem is tools, improving my resume. Okay. Yeah, for the tools, the basic tools, we'll discuss this in the group as well. What tools you need to start working as a VA, and we mentioned a few within the slides, but for you to experience it yourself, we'll do a test task for everyone within the group. So I'll let you do a test task. For example, email management, Canva for graphics, listings or transcription, so that you have something to put in your resume. So it's quite difficult to put something like transcription on your resume. Then when you are asked about it during the interviews, you don't know what you are saying. So we will let you experience it. And so yeah, you have something to do to share with your during the interview.
Yeah.
So for your resume, Real John, you can use, for example, you are working in the office. It's relevant for journal admin. Yeah, if you're working with papers, so yeah,
Mm.
yeah, you can link it with the papers.
The other thing that I find really helpful when I do my resumes is I'll actually, if you go and find if you can, I don't know whether you had a job description from when you were working or even the job application, or if you know someone that's still working there, if you can get a copy of the job description that you were doing, then you can actually take elements of that and say,
Yeah.
I was responsible for doing these things because that's already been written out for you. So that's actually a really nice way to fill out those parts in your resume if you haven't actually got it currently and you've left that employment. And if you can't find that, if you go online and you look for a job that's similar to the job that you were doing in an office, and then that will actually have the details and the tasks that would be required in that job, and then put that in your resume. Obviously, don't make anything up because you'll get exposed really quickly.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for the right wording and the right type of content to fill out your experience, then that's a good way to go and do it too.
Yeah, so I'll share a template on the group,
Mm.
and then we'll discuss how to use it.
Yeah.
So, more questions, guys?
Yeah, it's not a question.
Mm.
I remember when we were discussing about how to avoid scams.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was on Upwork a long time ago, one thing we check for those who might want to try Upwork is on the client's profile, you can see how much they spent.
Mm.
So that could be an indicator of someone who actually pays.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, my first client spent 30,000 roughly in a month. So at least I know he pays compared
Yeah.
to someone
Yeah,
who has
good
spent
point.
nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also,
Yeah.
other platforms have reviews of employers, so you can check the reviews.
And I mean, that's also one of the things that I do when I'm on Upwork. If I'm looking to employ someone, I won't employ someone that hasn't had any experience. So it's a bit of a catch-22
Mm-hmm.
because but I don't employ people full time. I use Upwork for short contract work now, and for that real specialty type role. For a VA, I like to be able to employ a VA full time and give them the training that they need to develop, and so that they can work in the areas that they're interested in, that they're good at, and all the rest of it. So yeah, Upwork, very true. It's funny, I've never actually looked at it from an employer's point of view because I'm always, or from at a contractor's point of view to an employer. But yeah, because I don't use that much Upwork, so I probably don't have that many dollars spent, I guess.
Mm.
But yeah, for someone that's brand new with zero, I'd be probably a bit more wary. Make sure they're real.
Yeah, that was my first time to work as a VA. So, yep.
Yeah.
So one thing, another challenge for VA applicants is the interview, question and answer. So I can share you common questions and the best answers for those questions. One tricky question is, what is your um, what is your weakness and what is your strength? Those That is a tricky question. And another one is, um, what do you expect from us? Another question is, how do you see yourself in 5 years? So yeah, those are some difficult to answer questions that are difficult to answer. So I'll share it with you within the group a template, question and answer.
Yeah, the questions that we always ask, and then it's always good, like anytime, go in and practice answering those questions, so you already know exactly what to answer. So when someone surprises you with it, and you won't go, "Oh my god, I believe I asked this question."
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
yeah, I knew they were going to ask that question. I'm ready for it.
so let me share it.
Because everyone,
Yep.
but you can spin a weakness to be a strength if you think about it.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about positioning and selling yourself.
Yep. What is this? One person waiting. How to admit? Okay. So you don't need to be fluent in English. for example, me, I'm not that fluent even now. I'm not that confident yet. So, but by practicing, continue practicing and repeating those questions and answers during interviews, you'll be more comfortable answering, conversing with your client, with the interviewee. So it is important that you maintain eye contact with, although you are interview online, maintaining eye contact through watching the, like this, watching the camera. So it's more, you are more connected with the interviewee, or more, yeah. It's for me, if, as an interviewer, it's like more personal. It's, or it's like a very light environment. So yeah.
Mm.
Mhm. So you don't need, for example, when you're asked for, tell me about yourself, those are the first questions asked during interviews. Uh, the trick is, you share something that is personal and relate, also related to the job description. And you don't need to answer very long, but uh, for 4 to 5 sentences is good, a good answer already. So yeah, you need to expound, but not too much, or else you consume. We have those applicants in the past, Debbie.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So any more question, guys? So we can actually do some practice interviews, so one-on-one. We can do that
Mm.
on Facebook, so you can practice. So, and in the group as well, I'll share with you open job openings from other groups. If they will, if I see something is posted in the other group, so I can share it in our group. Then I'll teach you how to apply, how to approach it, and how to do your, um, what you call this, application letter. Because every job application needs some specific. You need to edit your email application, email application letter. Hey, Jason.
Hi, Jason. Not happy to be lying in bed, do you?
So,
All right. Is
more
there
questions?
any questions?
If you have questions, guys,
Are
uh,
you live, people?
yeah, we are live.
Well, another concern.
Mm,
I don't know how to use Photoshop. I mean, I'm starting from scratch
mm-hmm.
here. I don't know how to use all those graphic tools.
Yep. Mm,
And,
To use
but
graphic tools,
I
use
could
something
try
like
to learn.
yeah.
Sorry?
We can discuss this on the FB group. How to use Canva for beginners.
look, anytime that I've had to go and learn a new tool, YouTube's always been my go-to.
Mm,
You'll go and, if you go and you want to learn the basics of Canva, if you go and find someone that's got posted a video, and you can normally go and do it alongside with them. And normally if they've done a good intro, then they might have follow-up ones, but just I always look for someone that's had the YouTube video that's got the most views, and that's your quickest way of learning how to go and use anything, and it's free.
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
Canva. I the link to Canva is on the chat box. You can, yeah, you can explore. Yeah. So we can have some discussion on this on the FB group as well, because it will take a lot of time, just for just to show you how to use it.
Yeah. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining in and taking your time out listening to us. We hope that we were helpful and that you'll get where you want to go. And again, if you have any other questions, pop them in the group and we can answer. I haven't joined that group, but I will. Yeah, and if you'd like us to present something again, like we can pull together another session if you're interested, or if there's a particular topic, pop that in the group and we can do a poll and see how much you. So.
Thank you so much, guys, for your time.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, guys, for joining us today.
Helpful.
And yeah, I see you in the FB group. And if you want, we can do a part 2, more detailed.
It was really nice to meet you guys.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you so much, Aksa, and everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Bye.
thanks, guys. See ya.
Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you.
That went well. Good on you,
Yeah.
Albert.
Yeah.
Well. Yeah. Were you happy with it? Did
Yeah,
it
of
go how you
course.
thought it would?
Yeah, I think so. We did justice to the almost 2 hours. Oh, 1 hour. 1 hour
Yeah, it went really well.
presentation. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
they learned something new.
Yeah, it's hard to remember where people are that far back, isn't it? When you kind of that far down the line,
Yeah.
starting out.
Yeah, it's for me it's quite difficult to explain when
Yep.
when they're starting. So yeah, I need to go back and how you
Yeah.
started. Yeah.
I think that a lot of people are kind of asking for super basics. I think that there needs to be a point of people have some self-resilience and like AXA, like I don't know how to use Canva. Well, AXA, you need to go on YouTube. So I think we can probably, even if you go and say,